So hi, we're only good noise podcast who never loved. We're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Um, so how the band, you asked how the band started,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's funny. It kind of just started with me going to Squire and just saying like, let's do some songs together, and we didn't really like think anything of it. You know, it's kind of like I guess how Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters started. Similarly, just like him recording some songs and like there was really no members. It was just me and Matt, and we did some tunes together. We didn't know if it'd be more like solo kind of stuff or band stuff. Like, I don't know. I just had a lot of songs and I'm like, let's just do something cool. And sure enough, we recorded 4 songs together. And, that's when we're like, wow, this is how it came to be. It's like a rock band. This is awesome. And then I kind of just went and recruited people. Like, I've known Jay since I was like 14. My first ever band was with him, like way back, like 9th grade. His friend who I knew, like, we like, you need a guitarist, and he invited me, and like, and I joined his band back then. But we've been in bands together, growing up, and I've known Shane since probably about the same time. Like, we weren't close, but known him, since like
Same
high
scene in
school days.
Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he was in another band that would always play like shows we played, or like Jay actually was a sound tech at like a small venue down here, and like I'd help him out, and Shane's band would always play there. So like we always knew of each other like coming up. And yeah, that's kind of like how it came
What about
to
the
be.
name Never Loved?
Mm-hmm.
So like it's funny. It doesn't really mean anything. We're trying to figure out a band name, and like I don't know. I feel like band names are just one of those things that just like clicks. It's either cool or it's not. And like, I feel like a lot of band names never mean like Foo Fighters means like people fighting aliens or something like that. Like Jimmy Eat World or like Breaking Band. Like if you think about it, there's never really any like meaning. But I think the band kind of just like gives it a different meaning once they like associate their music with it. So we kind of just like were throwing names around in a group chat, and that one just stuck.
Okay.
And it
I
was,
think
like, the
too with
first one-
names, like when you think about it too much, then it's like forced. It should just be something like, oh, well,
Off the whim,
this is
yeah.
the band name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was one of those like we were just so fed up. We're like, all right, like we can't agree on a name. Like, what do we do? And like it was like the first one I think we all agreed on. So like that's kind of also why it's stuck. It's like for once everyone likes it. Cool. Like
Yeah.
Let's
all right,
let's stick with that one. Yeah.
let's use this one for sure.
All right. Solid. So congrats on your newest release, Over It. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
I think it's been really cool. Like, and it's really fun too. We got to do like the music video for it. So I think a lot of people like the response. We've been getting a lot of good responses on the video. It has fire in it, just like
Mhm.
we're destroying the room. So I think it's been going really good. I'm excited to play that one live.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. It's kind of ironic because I wrote that song. It must have been like pre 2020, definitely pre 2020.
Well,
And then like 2020 happened, so it's like, oh wow, like I guess this makes sense. It's kind of like I didn't think it'd still be a mood, but I think we all kind of feel a little, like what the hell is going on? Like this is weird this year. I'm over it. So it worked out
Mhm.
nice, but it's been great. It's nice to get new music out. This was like our first song we released in like about a year, so it just felt really good to get some new art out there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if anybody's told you this, but it comes off as like an anthem kind of song. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. There's just some sort of vibe about it. So
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I think we're kind of going for that too a little bit. When it came to recording, like we did something a little different on this upcoming record, where we kind of just like a lot of the choruses have like those extra like group gang vocals just kind of tucked underneath everything to give it that kind of like anthem vibe.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Stuff
Sing
you get me.
along.
all right. So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process and how it's changed since that first E EP?
Well, Shane and I get on Discord, get a couple White Claws. No, but well, it's so with the EP, it always like there's never one writing. Now I feel like this is the most consistent like writing process that like when I say consistent, I mean like this most like it. How do I say this? like songs had always come about in different ways, and I think now we kind of have like a nice system set up for like the first time where it's like cool, like routine. But with the EP, it'd be, I wrote all the songs before anything was a band, so I'd be at home. I have a little home recording set up, and I would just go in Logic and record songs and demos just to have as reference. And like it wasn't much of a, oh, what do you think of this? Let's change this, because it was at the time just me. But now it's like I don't know, Shane, you want to tell them about our little setup?
Well, I think like what's different too is there's more hands involved now compared to like, when Cam was saying the band first started, it was just him. So now it's like you're getting more opinions from different people. So I think that definitely like influences it a little bit. And now what we've been doing is kind of these virtual like setups where Cam can pull up his program here and I can hear it on this end, and we'll just kind of go back and forth like in real time, but like kind of like being in the studio but in different locations. It took a while to get to the setup, but it actually works really well.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out for a really long time. There was like one day, because like I said, how we write, it's like either Shane will send me like a voice memo riff or vice versa, but like I write everything, like I kind of record it as I write type deal. Like it's just, I think it's easier to hear how the song could be, because I think a lot of our stuff is heavy production based, so just on a voice memo you're not really getting the full vibe of it.
Don't downplay voice memo. That's like the best recording app.
It really
that's
is.
where all the songs start.
It is like I think that's actually where Over It started too. But like I think like with being able to demo stuff out, it kind of brings it to life, and you can kind of see like it's not just a skeleton. You get all like the extra like details of the song and like the better idea of it. So we were trying to figure out for like a long time, how am I able to play this? Like, how's it gonna be? How are we gonna make it so it's like we're in the same room together? With COVID and everything, and also Shane and I live like 3 hours away from each other too, so it's like a little bit of a struggle there. But the system works really well. Like we found a way where it's like we're in the same room. I can just be like, "Yo, what do you think of this?" And I hit my space bar, and he hears back my Logic session in real time, and he's like, "We'll try this." And I'll just plug in and record it real quick while we're on Discord or Zoom or whatever, and it's been a pretty cool system so far.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
cool.
Sick. So, where's your headspace while writing Over It?
Kind of like now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like how everyone feels in 2020 was like my headspace when I wrote it. I don't know, like you have good days and you have days where it's like you just don't feel inspired, or I don't know, you're just like kind of out of it, like weird vibes, and it was just like a weird period. I think at that time, like we were between tours, and I don't know, it just stuff kind of felt a little stagnant, and just like it felt boring. And like sometimes like when you're bored and there's not much going on, like your head kind of wanders a little bit, and like I was in a little bit of a rut, so I don't know, I just had that melody. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And like I remember just playing like the 4 chords. I was like, this is kind of cool too, and I kind of just went with it. It's funny because I never finished the song in pre-production at home. I like wrote the intro, the first chorus. It was done until like the bridge, so like it was only like two verses and 2 choruses, and like I don't know, something about it felt like I don't know how to finish this. Like I do know, but I feel like I wanted it to be like I don't know. I just like I could have come up with a bridge or something else, but something felt like let me just wait. Let me sit on this, and like I'll bring this to Squire when we go to the studio, and we'll kind of just figure it out there. And that's when we finish the song. And I think the bridge of that song kind of makes it. And that's when we like wrote that bridge and like that last chorus. I feel like it wouldn't have came to be if I wrote that at home. Also, too, Nick from All American Rejects was in the studio with us for like the first week helping us out. And like
wait, are you just gonna breeze past that? Wait, okay, sorry, okay, yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I'll talk. I have Nick stories. Oh, Nick.
Okay.
Shout out to Nick. But no, he was so like just to backpedal, like we did some songs together, some co-writes, but like just a little pre-context, like we were getting along so well and like vibed. I'm like, dude, you should just come to the studio with us when we're doing pre-po, and like we'll work on more stuff. And like, so he was there for the first week, and I remember like we were like going through songs to pick for the record, and over he's like, I like this one too. I'm like, same. I'm like, we got to the bridge, we're like, what do we do? And then Nick just played these chords, and I just started playing this lead. I'm like, there we go, and like we just ran with it. But back to what I was saying, like when I wrote that song, I was in a rut, and like I didn't even finish it, like because I was in a rut, and it was like hard to be creative. I'm like, this is cool, like I don't really know. And I'm glad that I waited to finish that until we got to the studio and like had Nick write that. The bridge of that song is my favorite part. So like
I think too, like being on the spot, like in the studio, like really helps, because there's like this pressure, and you're like, I don't know, there's so much that can change too, that I feel like even what like some of the other Never Loved songs too, that it just kind of happens on the spot, just like, whoa, like that was sick, let's roll with that.
So you guys prefer writing like in the studio under pressure instead of like having things ready for the studio, or at least
no,
not for everything, just like some parts.
Okay.
Yeah, like the way I look at it is I like to have a skeleton done by the time we go in. Like I don't want to go and be like, I don't got nothing. And like luckily for us, I think that's like, I don't know, I'm grateful that we never have a shortage. Usually it's the other way around. Usually we have too much, we got to figure out, all right, what are we using? And but even if it's like, cool, I have this song and like this is like where it's at, this is the idea, I think it's good to go in with that, like demo it out, and like even if it's just like a chorus and a verse or something, because once that's done, I feel like you get the idea of the song and you can kind of build around it, as opposed to like building up from like the foundation. I don't think we've ever went into the studio and like built up from the foundation, but I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe like for LP2 or something. We also don't have the time to do that. Like we had 3.5 weeks to record a whole album, so it's kind of just like, okay, we just got to go. I don't think we would have been able to do it if we had to like build up from the ground. But yeah.
So what bands or artist influences do you think you can hear the most on that new track?
I don't know. What do you think, Shane?
It's like, I don't want to say like anything pop punk, because I really don't feel like that represents like the band at all. But I don't know. It almost seems like with Over It, it's kind of just taking something that was already there and just kind of reshaping it into something that felt like more raw, and just like kind of digging deep into like what Never Loved like really sounds like, and you know what at its most core, like this is what it is.
Yeah, I do feel like it's a very authentic, like I think it's like a staple NL track, like, and not that all of our songs sound like that, but I think it's like a nice, you know, like middle point, and then like you have songs around it, like it's like the sun, I guess, in this. I don't know. But I don't know, like that's a good question. I never really thought about that. What do y'all think?
Oh man,
I can't really think of any. I just kind of heard it and I was like, oh, this is a solid just track. I couldn't really place anything personally.
It maybe has like that familiar sound, like it's just like you can't place it, but it's like, oh, I heard this.
Yeah, I
this
recognize
sounds like something from like the 2000s, like maybe Blink 182 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weezer, Green Day.
Weezer.
I could hear Weezer in it for sure, a little bit. FisherPrice, Shane.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I just had to throw this out there. I want to shout out I don't know. I have to go on Facebook. Some dude really just, I don't know. I'm sorry if you had a bad day, but I went on Facebook one morning and someone commented, and excuse my French, what the fuck? Sounds like someone hit the button on a FisherPrice toy. I was like, who hurt you? I was like, who hurt you? Like, wow. Like that's specific. It's not like this sucks or this like, damn, like he really went after us.
Yeah, you guys are
shout out to my dude. I hope he's having a good day today.
So
I hope he's
not
feeling
all,
better.
Not all positives. We got some negatives in there too. FisherPrice toys.
It's like you like spin the wheel and it's like
the cow goes moo. And like I'm not gonna lie, like I get it. People aren't gonna like stuff. I'm like that's like a really specific thing. And
exactly.
I laughed. I'm like,
yeah, it's almost
what?
funny.
And
it is. It's like ouch, like, but also kind of funny. But
exactly.
Also,
I would be lying if I didn't think about it for like 3 days. I was like, what? Like FisherPrice? I'm like, like who I forgot about that toy brand. Like how
Yeah.
who like that's
It's
whatever.
like a
and,
deep-rooted memory, just like wow, like
did he go to Toys R Us and just saw the song and he was mad? I think they're out of business.
maybe
so
he has like a
couldn't be on
baby.
there.
He
Oh
like
my
has a
God.
bunch of Fisher Price
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. And like I remember being like, what? It just randomly popped in my head. I'm like, Fisher Price, like how? Like one day it hit me, and I'm like, maybe. And I'm like, no. Then like the next day, I'm like, wait a second, like, oh, because like maybe there's like a kids in the beginning, like a school bell, like I don't know, like, but I mean, cool, I guess, like but ages like we can be infant music, and you want to
Yeah,
like
I think we should do like ice cream music. That's
yeah,
like the
ice
next,
cream truck, like
Iconic.
you could be
That's
baby
the next
toys,
move.
like you hear like over it, but it's all like ice cream.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
LP2
yeah, like
Sounding
right
Annie or
there.
something.
Lullaby
Exactly.
music.
So if
Exactly.
anything, it's a great idea of him, and I want to say thank you, Mr. Fisher Price, because now
That's
me and
gonna
Shane,
stick with us.
Shane and I are going to get on
Exactly.
the Zoom call and go on a business adventure. So that's what we're going to
We're
do.
gonna create
Yeah.
after this.
Okay.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to let that one out. I was like, Fisher Price.
Oh, good.
On the record.
It was
Yeah,
actually
like-
me that made that hate comment. All me.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Oh my
Shane.
God.
God.
Shane.
Come on,
God.
Shane.
God damn
I
it.
knew it, man.
Yeah.
I knew when there was another Shane. I'm like, something's not right
Yeah.
here.
something not
This
right.
guy
Something's
looks like he
off.
knows Fisher Price.
Oh.
Two
Okay.
Shanes. Wow.
I'm just
It's
joking.
crazy. All right. So on another route of this conversation, is there a certain feeling you want your listeners to have while listening to your music?
What do you think, Shane?
Not
Fisher Price toys.
No.
Yeah. Not Fisher Price toys.
I think a lot of the vibe is like it's like sounds like upbeat, but then the lyrics are like kind of dark, and you're just like, whoa, like it's like this weird package. Like if you just heard it, if you're at like Target and it was playing, you'd be like, oh, this is like catchy, but then like you listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh wow, that's something else.
Every time we release a new song, like I have a friend who texts me and like, hey, like,
Are you all right?
just had to check in on you. And I'm like, I'm
Aw.
good.
I'm good, dude.
Because the thing is, it's like, I think what I want to take out of it, well, I guess backing up, the lyrics are like slightly sarcastic. Like they're true, but I think it's a bit of an over exaggeration. And that's why I think Over It is like kind of like the essence of like, I know a little bit, because a lot of the songs have that like, it's not like, yeah, I wish I was dead. It's like, kind of wish I was dead, but like, whatever. Like, I think there's this, what I would like to, I mean, I guess what I'd like people to take out of it is whatever they want to take out of it, of course. But at least for me, I think what I liked about certain artists and bands that like inspire me, and like what I love about music is sometimes you hear a song and you just resonate with it, and it makes you feel like, like, okay, cool. Like this person's going through this as well. And like, it kind of just like, it's like a weird support system in a sense where, you don't feel like you're the only person maybe going through something. And it's like nice to hear other people's side of it. So I guess for me, whether it's an existential crisis song or a breakup song or a love song, which there's that on the new record. I know, a happy never love song, right?
Ooh.
I guess I want people to just maybe relate to it, or I don't know, like we're all in this together kind of thing. This weird journey of life.
All right, very cool.
Wholesome.
I just spilled my water.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
It's fine.
So how do you guys feel about the growth from your first EP until now?
That's a great question. Thank you. Shane, I feel like Shane has a good outside perspective on that, because like, since you like joined in like right after the EP and it was already written, like it's hard for me to, I don't know.
True. I guess
I'd
I'm
have
the
to
new
think
guy.
about that. But I feel like Shane has a cool, like, because he was like he had like that outside perspective at first, so I feel like you probably have a good idea.
I mean, I was like really into it. Like as soon as it came out, I was just like, even though I like knew the guys, I was like, this is awesome. Like they came out swinging with like the label and the video. It's just like, I always really thought it was important to kind of what other bands, just like kind of community and this and that. But I think from the EP to now, there's, like Cam was saying, the band just started. So now there's been the tours, like 5 or 6 tours now. So I think more mature in a sense where like there's more experience. So, and now that Cam knows that this is like a band, it's not just a solo project, or you don't know what it is. I think that kind of puts it in a different perspective going into like the new record, where you're like, all right, I know like we're a band and this is kind of where it's going. It's not just a solo project. So I think a lot of that has changed. And I think also probably even like writing songs that you know that you're gonna play live. Like I'm gonna do this part, or I'm gonna do it like this. Kind of thinking about like the live performance of it too.
Hmm.
For sure. And I think something to note, like now that I think about it, with the EP, and like when I say the EP, I like to include the other two songs. Like they're not part of the EP, but like for me it is. Like
On
they're
the
all
vinyl.
recorded. Yeah, they're on the vinyl. They're all recorded like at the same time kind of. But I think with the EP, it's a little more like, what is this band? Because you have like some darker songs that are heavier, and then you have some more like poppy tunes. And like I think when you have a small like platter of that, it's kind of harder to dissect. Like it might seem more like this band kind of doesn't know what they want to do. But with the record, you know, since we have more songs, it kind of like reassures that identity of like, well, that's just their thing. They have, you know, heavier songs, and then they have lighter songs. Just like, you know, Bring Me the Horizon has heavy songs, they have lighter songs. And like I think so the growth from the EP to the LP is it kind of like reassures our identity a little more with all those different songs, since we have a past of doing that, and now we have more songs to do it on this record. Whereas in the past, it might have seemed like don't know what we're doing because there's a breakdown in one song, and then the other song's like, you know, like poppy-ish.
FisherPrice.
Yeah, FisherPrice. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
our brand, baby. FisherPrice.
Yeah.
You're just gonna own it.
Get a
Smack-
sponsor.
Put that on
I
a
know.
t-shirt.
Exactly.
He could have
FisherPrice
just like
band.
bought us all a house, Shane. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I think we should also get like a sponsor for like Sour Patch Kids, like Sour
Yeah.
Sweet. You know,
there we go.
There you
That'd
go.
be iconic.
Look at all these ideas floating through you.
yeah, I'm a businessman here. What can
Yeah.
I say?
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, you'll love to see it. So you guys are supposed to go on a tour with Armour for Sleep in 2021. How did that opportunity happen?
That was a really well. We bought on for $100,000.
Of course.
$100 million.
We don't.
Of
We
course.
yeah. We don't work hard.
No,
And we just
we're
buy
just
onto
flushed
everything.
with cash.
Mhm.
Our parents are millionaires,
Of
and
course.
yeah. So like, you know, we just cheat the system all the time.
This music thing's easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Cam's
know.
Dad's actually in a very big band. We won't say which one, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's in Armour for
very
Sleep.
popular.
Well, they got divorced, my parents, and my mom married Elon Musk. So like, there's also
Here we
that.
are.
But
Your mom is Grimes?
yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh my
crazy,
God.
bro.
My little brother's like X1255, whatever, like freaking Apple serial number.
ER5. Yeah.
But in all, like, it's like, not to be fucking around, but we actually, so that was like a pretty slow play. Like, that was like something that was in the works for like 3 years, 2 years before they even
Wow.
knew they were gonna do a tour. Like,
Mhm.
when we first showcased for Ecovision, like, I was like, holy shit! Like, that's like, to back up a little bit. That record that we're going on the tour for, like their record,
Mhm.
I actually have a poster of it right here. Like, one of my favorite albums of all time. Like,
That's
Big
so
deal.
cool.
kid you not. Like, I used to listen to that religiously. Like, high school. Like. So when we got that, like, finally got that confirmation, I was like, holy shit! Like, whoa! Like, it still doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
But so when Ecovision came down to showcase us, I remember like one of the first things, like, you know, we're all hanging out and like talking to each other for the first 10 minutes, and like within 10 minutes, I was like, "So you signed Armour for Sleep?" He's like, "Yeah, I did." I was like, "I like them." I was like, "It's one of my favorite bands."
Yeah.
Like, I made it very clear. I'm like, "Yo, it's like one of my," like, I was like, "Whoa!" Like, I don't know if I was more like, "Holy crap, Ecovision," or like, "Holy crap, like Armour for Sleep's label." You know, like it was like one
Yeah.
of those like, I don't know. I was like fanboying a little bit.
Starstruck.
Yeah. So like, you know, for the longest time, I was like, you know, I've made it clear, like it wasn't even like a tour thing. It's just like, I love that band, and like our one of the A&Rs that are labeled like knew I loved that band. So every time we stopped and visited them on tour, he'd always give me like some different memorabilia that he'd hold on to just for me. Like,
Aw.
he held on to like a reprint of like one of their cassettes that's like 1 of 50, and he kept one last one. He like went to visit, and he's like, "Here, I kept this for you." He opens his drawer, and I'm like, holy shit! He gave me like a limited edition vinyl. Like, he'd always like,
Oh.
we'd always talk about Armour for Sleep. Like, every time we saw him, somehow it'd come up. Like, I don't know. And then you know, we kind of got like word. He's like, "Yo, I'm going to, you know, see, I think Saves the Day was doing like a 20-year of Through Being Cool, which like also crazy to be on the same label as that too." And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna be meeting up with so and so from Armour. I'm gonna see if they're interested. This is like a year before the 15 year, and like I'm gonna see maybe if they're interested in doing some things, you know, like no promises, but like if they are, like I'm putting you right. Like I know how, like we'll make sure to get you on it type deal. It was like awesome. Because like I'd make that joke like when we first signed with them, like, you know, if Armour ever does a 15 year, you know, like just always just subliminally dropping it, like in this, like somehow manifested, because at the time there was no talks of that like whatsoever. And like and then it kind of just materialized from there, and then it turned into like, yeah, I think like they're interested in doing it, and then it's like, yeah, they are doing a 15-year tour. I'll see if, you know, we're gonna whatever. And like it was just a slow build, and then I remember it was actually when we were recording the LP and the only normal part of 2020, which is January. Our label came to just stop in and, you know, check out the progress of stuff, and like we all went out to dinner that night. And I remember there, our A&R, she told us like, hey, you know, just wanted to say it's not set in stone yet, but like y'all are like number one on like the short list for the Armour For Sleep tour. I was like, holy shit. Like, which is like checkmate, you know, like at that point it just like, why not, you know? And like obviously it's their decision too, and there's a lot more parts. So Dan from Equal Vision, you know, talked to Ben from AFS and is like, I think you should bring this band out, like, you know, I think they're like the next y'all for this or whatever. I don't know, like some whatever. And they all really liked us, and you know, they wanted to, I guess, so to speak, like pass the torch on, and like help us out and help out Equal Vision too. And like they like our music and they like us too. And so it just worked out great where like, you know, EVR talked to them and they liked us, and like it just worked out, you know, that we got on the tour, which is great for $200,000. So
yeah.
After all that,
it was a long process.
Yeah.
It's still like so surreal to me, to be honest, because it's one of my favorite records of all time, like like top 3. So it's like, holy shit. Like I remember before Never Loved was even a thing, like I wanted to go see them do the 10-year and I couldn't. I was like, oh, they're not coming to Florida. Like, oh, I don't want to go to Boston. Oh, it's sold out. I'm like, damn, I hope I get to see them play that record. Like that's all I wanted, just to see them. Like, let alone, holy crap, I get to play a show with them. Holy shit, we're supporting them on this record tour. Like, I don't know if I'm more excited to see the record every night or to play. I don't know. Like, but yeah. So it's awesome. I'm super grateful, and I remember like Shane was like, we were all like, holy crap. I remember sending the email to everyone like, yo, we got it.
Literally
so cool,
insane.
I hope it gets to happen. Come whenever it's supposed to kick off in 2021. So
it's gonna be in May. It's like hard to tell, but you know, I mean, at least we got time to figure out what's gonna be going on. So I'm optimistic about it. You know, there's time. It's only August, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've just seen they like announced like EDC. It's like sold out instantly, and that's like in March or something. So that's like a good sign, I think.
Yeah.
Sold out festival.
Yeah.
So I think I'm hopeful.
Shows got to come back at some point. Music industry depends on it. So
it does.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
So you guys keep on talking about this album. I have to ask, is there anything you can tell us about it?
Yeah, for sure. Shane, what do you want to hint?
I want to know anything you can tell us about.
Let's spill some tea, man. I'm down to spill some tea.
Tell us everything.
Yo.
I would say there's definitely a good amount of tracks on there, especially
14.
compared to like
14.
I mean, with the like EP, that was just 4. So I think now you're gonna really see what Never Love's about with it. Especially like we were touching a little bit on. There's so many different sides to that. When you have more songs, I think that really opened a lot of doors. Like, let's try something heavier here. Let's try like a pop song here. You know, so I think it's gonna be very diverse. Let's say that.
It's really, really diverse for sure. I can get behind that. There's some songs in there that like I think every song on it works. Like that album can't exist without other like if one song was not on that record, it just wouldn't work because of like that amount of. I feel like one song could not be on it. I don't know, but I love it. But like I always forget it's on that. Like every time I hit track 12, I'm like, oh yeah, this one. Like I always forget it's on the record.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like you really want to listen to it like front to back. Like if you have it on vinyl or something, that's gonna give you like the true like experience, I think, because a lot of the songs like kind of go into each other in a way, like you're kind of ending this vibe and going into somewhere else. So I think the transition between like I don't know, it's like two different ends of like this, and just kind of meeting in the middle, I would say. But
yeah, I think too, to touch on what you're saying, Shane, is like if you pulled like 2 songs out side to side and like from that record and listened to them, you'd be like, what the this is not the same band. Like not that like oh it still sounds like a Never Love song. Like we still have like we make sure to have through lines and everything, but like it's just like, you can't pull the heavy song and the acoustic song from the record. Like you're going to be really confused. So like that's why I think like that record can't exist with one song was off of it. And like something cool too is we we made it a point to have a very distinct side A and a side B. Like totally like almost like, the Upside Down from Stranger Things, it's just like alternate universe.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I love side A, but I think side B is my favorite. And it's funny because like side B is no singles. It's all like side A is like all the singles. Yeah, like all side A is like all the singles and like, the little more I guess upbeat stuff, kind of like how the EP was structured or the vinyl. Like on the vinyl we have Where Do I Go From Here, Dead Inside and Goddamn on one side, and then you have like Charged, Gone and Down on the other. So it's like similar format for sure. But our next single, there is one side B single, is actually a side B track. It's the Heavy song.
Ooh.
It's the Heavy song. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. But anyways.
All right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's exciting. All right. So.
Oh, I was going to say, touching on what you were saying, we did something else too. I forgot. Like, I can't believe I forgot this, but this is like the first, and it wasn't due to like lack of shortage or like we can't write music. Like we have plenty of songs, like always can write our own music, but more so just to kind of, touching on diversity again, just get an outside perspective and like, outside taste that might spice up like all the tracks. We did do some co-writes for this record. 1, 2, 3, 4 to be specific. And again, not that we had to, but I was, asked, would you be into that? And I was like, yeah, I think that'd be great. Not even so much to have a great song, but like, you get to learn from people and like, I don't know, I like working with other people. You always get a different perspective and maybe you learn new things all the time. So we wrote 3 songs. Well, I wrote 3 songs with Nick from Rejects in Nashville before the record. And then when he came in to help out, like he kind of helped us finish too. But so I guess technically 5 songs. We wrote 5 songs together, but like he has writing credit on it, but like the way I look at it, like we wrote a song together, it's like we started from scratch together, not like a cool, what do you think we should add here kind of thing. So like I would say we did, we wrote 3 songs with him, and then we wrote 1 song with Mark from a band called The Shins too. Oh. So that was pretty neat. So it was interesting getting those co-writes on there because I think it gives it a little bit of a different flavor because it's not just coming from us. There's like a little extra outside perspective, and it kind of like it's cool. Learned a lot.
Helps push the boundaries of like what we're already doing, and just kind of help bring it somewhere that especially when you're working on a track all day. It's good to get like a fresh pair of ears. Like, oh well, maybe things could be different.
Will some more tea. The poppiest song on the record, like it's really poppy, we wrote with Nick. And then like the most rock and roll song we wrote with Mark from The Shins. It's interesting. Like we definitely pushed the boundaries on those co-writing sessions. I think that was the whole point, was to kind of just like go outside the box from like what we usually do.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm looking forward to this album, dude. Okay.
Same. I'm gonna listen to it after this.
After our FisherPrice meeting.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, yeah. Get Mr. John FisherPrice on the phone right now.
Right now. Bro, I'll send him the Zoom link.
We could do like some crazy like stock market fraud where like you just buy like a shit ton of stocks in FisherPrice, and then like then we'll do that business idea, and then like boom, now we're like triple banking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then we can buy onto another tour.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Easy.
You guys could be on the My Chem tour.
Yo.
I heard it's pretty cheap to get on that. I'm not gonna lie.
I got tickets for it, so I'll be there no matter what.
Okay, yeah. But like, if you
You're
get
gonna
to
be
play,
like, oh, I can't play this show. I'm gonna be in the audience.
Mhm.
I'll fill in for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
Shane,
told me
it's
you don't
fine.
play guitar.
You don't have to play. Everything's backtracked.
Yeah.
You don't play our
That's
instruments.
true,
You
that's
record.
true.
So
Like,
If
if
you
Yeah.
guys pay your way on, you're not.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't even
Yeah.
have
Or
to. You
flush
can just
with
put it
stand.
cash.
on,
I can just
and
stand
then we
It's-
plug in our iPod, and then we hit
Yeah.
play on the iPod, and it's
You just
Perfect.
stare at the crowd.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretend like we're
Exactly.
playing.
Exactly. Maybe even not even that. Just kind of look there.
We
All
try.
right. You
Yeah.
try just a little. All right.
We just get the Kemper for the looks. It's not actually like coming out. Like
Yeah.
there's no sound.
Actually, a lot of
Exactly.
bands do like the dummy cabs and stuff. Like when you see a band and they just have like so much gear, it's like a lot of it is actually fake.
Bro.
I get it though. Like you don't even really like
Like
technically. we
Warped
don't-
Tour, there's like 20 cabs on there. It's like you're really using like 2.
Yeah, like we don't even really need cabs to be honest, because everything's like coming through the front of house, but it's more so just to like.
Well, mine's coming out of the iPhone.
Stage.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Duh. I'm sorry. I have a Zune. A Zoom.
Oh,
A Zoom.
okay, a Zoom.
Yeah.
Is that what
God.
those are
I'm
called?
surprised
right?
if you don't know what a Zune is.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to have one. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Jay had one for a longest time. He was always like, "Ooh, screw iPod, Zune." I'm
He
like,
also
okay,
has,
Jay.
has an
Exactly.
Android. I feel like it's like goes hand in
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Like,
There's like
Yeah.
people who just hate Apple products for no reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope
You
they
know,
get better
it-
soon.
Yeah.
yeah, true. But I'm sorry. I think you're gonna ask something, and then like I started talking about God as well. So sorry to interrupt that.
Oh no, it's okay. I enjoyed that. Okay. So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
Fisher
Nashville.
Price.
Fisher Price,
Yeah.
of course.
Well,
obviously.
Nashville too.
hmm
I don't know. We want to move at some point. Out of Florida. I don't know. Well, I think ideally, in a perfect world,
Hmm.
we do this Armour For Sleep tour as scheduled in May. We release the record probably around that time. Sucks we have to sit on it for so long, but it's better to wait and do it when things are kind of normal again than release a record and it's like we're stuck at home. Come watch us stare at a fucking phone screen on IG Live and play acoustic in our bathroom or something. Like I don't know. No hate, but like it sucks not being able to tour and like make new fans and new connections and stuff like that. But I think we release the record next year and we tour off of it. And kind of get our name out there, get our feet off the ground, become more of like a household name. And I think we do a second LP, and I think that's like, cool. Like we're a real band now. We can headline.
Mhm.
And now Shane and I are living in Nashville, and we have Fisher-Price commercials, and
boats
now
and
we
yachts.
don't have to buy on the tours.
Even
So
though we're
it's
in
like,
Nashville, we
great.
still have a boat.
Yeah,
and
we
a
have a
yacht.
boat. So our goal is to eventually be able to afford boats and then a yacht. The yacht's pretty like hard, but at
Uh-huh.
least a boat.
I feel like
Okay.
Fall Out Boy could like buy like a yacht. They have
Yeah.
yacht money.
All right,
I
well,
Oh, they have
I
plenty
mean-
of rock. Yeah.
well,
I
with
mean, like-
all the connections you guys have, as long as you stop
Mhm.
buying your way on tours, yacht no problem.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Shane, we could buy a boat. We could just say screw this right now.
No
stop
one
buying
said
the
it had to be a
tours.
nice boat as long as we have
Yeah, we can get a little
boat.
canoe. Well, maybe
That's how I know I
maybe
made it.
we could get one of those Fisher-Price toy boats. and make a
Oh my
boat.
god! Please. Please.
That's a boat.
Yeah.
I can
It
like
is.
take a
It's
close
Isn't
up
that like
picture
a
of
thing?
it
You
and make
say
it seem real.
you say toy boat fast like 10 times.
Toy boat. Fuck, I can't do it.
Toy boy.
But like, yeah, I think that's the goal. In 5 years,
a boat and a yacht.
yeah, we're not like
Mhm.
doing
5
this
years.
to just like cool. We want to like be in small rooms, not because we're like oh, we're gonna be rock stars, but like it'd be cool to like leave a mark, and like the music legacy and like be how All American Rejects was and like be like one of those bands that makes kids want to be in a band. Like that's always been a goal of mine. Like there's so many bands. I'm like damn, like this makes me want to like. It had such an influence on me. It's like I would just love to have like it'd be cool if I could make kids want to play music or
Yeah.
inspire them to be in a band one day. Like I think that's the end goal.
That's very
I
wholesome.
agree with that.
Wholesome. Yeah, that was very wholesome.
I hate to do this, but for the last couple of questions, we're
Oh,
going to shift
God.
away from the wholesome and go straight to death row.
Yeah.
So, if you're on
Uh-oh.
death
Shift
row,
away from what?
the wholesome
Going
and the
death
music,
row.
and go straight to death row. So, if you're on
Damn.
death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Yo, I always ask this question. This is
Do you?
great. Filet
Death row.
mignon, medium rare. I have vegetable medley, garlic sautéed,
Okay.
truffle fries. I'll probably
Mhm.
have some béarnaise sauce, peppercorn sauce. It's got to be
Wow.
a big fillet too. I don't want like a little 6-ounce petite one. Like maybe like it's 10 or 12er.
Mhm.
A nice bottle of wine, Cabernet, specifically probably Hall. 2018 Cellar. Yeah, that would be my last meal.
I love
Something
how
tells me
specific
you've
that
thought
was.
about this before.
Yeah.
I have.
Sometimes
It's an
shit
icebreaker.
happens.
I think I
But,
would
like-
have to choose like Cheesecake Factory, the chicken Madero
Mhm.
with some cheesecake.
Cheesecake
Just like
Factory is also my
Russian
favorite,
roulette,
too.
any of them. Just like
Mhm.
throw a dart on the wall and I'll take whichever cheesecake.
Okay.
And I think I would want to keep the drink, maybe like if I had an option, water
Mhm.
and a White Claw.
Okay.
And a White Claw. Okay.
Alright.
And
Which
it has to
White
be a
Claw flavor?
mango. If I have to go, I would like to keep it real and go with the mango
Okay.
claw.
Also, just a side note about White Claw. The greatest thing happened to me earlier today.
Oh, really?
Shane, you got to try this.
Uh-oh.
Well, yes. So I asked for a White Claw,
Mhm.
got a White Claw,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Do you want it on ice?" And I'm like, "Whoa." I mean, like when you go to restaurants, soda's usually on ice. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm like, yeah, it's really hot in Florida. That could be nice. And like, they gave me this wine glass
Oh, wow.
with ice, so I'm drinking lemon White Claw on ice out of a wine glass, and I just felt like I was drinking like a really good Sprite Zero. It was so
Yeah,
refreshing.
that sounds
dude.
really nice.
Wow.
I felt liberated.
Oh, wow.
It
One
was
time they gave
great.
it to me like the can with a straw in it, and I was like, what?
Oh.
It's just wasteful at that
FisherPrice.
point. Like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, like honorable mention for last meal is the dumpster zinger mountain melt from Miller's Ale
Oh.
House. It's not called a dumpster melt. It's called a mountain melt
Zinger
with
Mountain
like
Melt.
zingers. It's like boneless chicken. They give you this plate that's like, fuck. I don't even know. What's a good point of reference? How big this plate is?
Like a foot? Like,
It's like
a circle, but
it's like the rim of a basketball hoop size plate.
Wow,
Like,
okay.
It's pretty big, and like it's fries, like melted cheese, scallions, bacon, these zingers, and it's just this pile of like
it's like
carbs
the
and
worst thing you can think
calories
of
and fried
all in
food.
one plate.
It's like
Yeah.
2,000 something calories,
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
and it's
Jesus.
like $12, dude. Now they have
It's
a zinger mac and
$12?
cheese.
Uh-huh.
It's like $12 or $13 now. And you can get them tossed in like a wing sauce. I always get like the super hot one because I'm a nut job. But like, they have this like this like new one now, which I didn't know, and I'm gonna have to come out of Zinger retirement for this. They have this new one where it's like a Zinger mac and cheese. I'm like, what? And it's
It's like-
2,400 calories.
Oh my
Holy
god.
That's like a
Shit.
day and a half
So
of
yeah.
calories.
Also, like fun fact about the Over It video. When we went up to our cinematographer, and shout out to Aflux Studios and Bobby Keegan and J Kid and Joey. They're literally the best. They've done all of our videos. Like best people. If you are listening to this and need someone to do videos and so happen to live in Florida, hit them up. But we went to go. He has like a new space, and we went to go check it out and like have a meeting and talk about like what we want to do for the Over It video. And like after we went to Ale House,
Mhm.
and I think it was the last time I ever had a Zinger Mountain Melt. We all had one, and we were all like dead. We were like falling asleep, like at the table, like just
Yeah.
all felt terrible. Like I was like so out of it, and I was like, oh my god, like my body's like, I gotta stop everything else and digest all this, and like
Mhm.
I still had
I
to drive
remember I was-
home. I was like 2 hours, just like. I
Oh
was
my god.
I did not
it
feel
was
good.
like the itis times 3,000. And I remember I was so dead that day, but luckily I ordered this guitar from France like 2 months before that, and it just, I don't know where it was, and I thought it was like gone. I was like, okay, I guess it's never coming. And like I was like so dead, and I was dragging my feet, and like my like dude downstairs was like, yo, you got a package. And I'm like, what? And I saw the guitar. I was like, instantly woke up. So if
Uh-huh.
it wasn't for that, I would have been like dead the whole day.
Yeah.
But it was Zinger Mountain Melt, honorable mention for last meal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think if we were all together and we were just gonna die at the same time, like
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a situation, then I think
Yeah, like if it's a
if it
group
was all in
death
Never
row,
Loved and we were, so it's like if I was solo on death row, Cheesecake Factory, but if we're
Mhm.
dying together, Mountain Melt and
Mountain
a
Melt,
Michelob Ultra.
Mick Gold. Well, Mick Ultra
Mick
Gold.
Gold,
Yeah, I
yes.
was gonna say that's we got to insert a word for our sponsors. We're not sponsored by Mick Ultra Gold, but if you're listening to this, you should. And if you're trying to drink a very good, refreshing beer that is low calories and low carbs and that high in content and it's refreshing, look no
and
further.
then you're of
It's
age.
organic as well. It's organic, so like
Oh.
it's like vegan water.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
All right.
All right.
It's like it's like a okay. Wait,
I imagine we're at like Chili's when it's happening for some reason. I know it's like Miller's Ale House, but I imagine we're like, it's gonna be Chili's,
Oh my
and they're just
God.
like, "This is it, guys."
That happened to us in the last video shoot. We're like, we had like a cabin, but we stayed at hotels. There was like Team A and Team B, and I ain't staying in the middle of a cabin. So I was at the hotel part, but like other people were at the cabin. But we like woke up in the morning and we were like in civilization, like we were in Gainesville. The other cabin was in the middle of nowhere, and we had to go like pick up the people because we were done with the video shoot. But we went to a Chili's, and it was great. It was a great time.
Shout out to Chili's.
All
If you're
right.
listening, Chili's.
Sponsor.
We got a lot of lit. We got Mick Gold, we got FisherPrice, we got Chili's, we got I mean, we got to hit up a lot of people after this.
Oh, for sure. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said the most important question. What is your favorite color?
I should know this.
It's a thinker.
It's like it depends because I like if it's favorite color to wear, like I always just wear like all black always.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I had to like not think about what I'm wearing,
Mm-hmm.
then I have to think about that.
Yeah.
That's tough because I want to say blue, but
Glory's gone.
I think it's blue. I would say blue.
Okay.
I like purple. Like purple's pretty good.
Like growing up, I think it was red. I don't know. It's something about blue. Just feels like it could be chaotic, but also like melancholy and just
Mhm.
it's like elegant, you know, and like I don't know. Why is the ocean blue, but like when you drink water, it's not? I just like thought about that.
The
I guess
ocean
light
sky.
reflections?
Yeah, it's
the
because
sky.
it reflects the sky.
Yeah. Duh,
I feel like my favorite blue is
like,
like the
you think-
Christmas lights. Have you ever seen like a house and it's just all blue? And it's
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like
Yeah.
a fly or something. I'm just like need to like walk up there and just like stare at it.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because like I'm always like I live 2 miles from the beach and like I'm on a river. Like maybe that's why I like blue and like water. But yeah, I guess blue, like navy blue though, not like a bright blue, like a darker blue.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna stick with purple.
all right.
You know what Jay? You know someone actually asked that question once. You know what Jay said?
Like
Jay's a bass
orange.
player, so like if that makes sense. He said brown or yellow. He said something really weird. I remember I just turned my head and I was
Hey,
like,
you
what?
know,
All right.
Maybe
That's
it was
fine.
a different color. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he said brown. I'm almost positive. It could have been like something really out there, like magenta, but I think it was brown.
Mhm.
actually, I'm changing mine. Maroon,
Okay.
All right.
Maroon's pretty nice.
maroon,
All
Like
right.
the band.
not
Oh,
Maroon 5,
Maroon 5.
but yeah.
So, as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Chili's, Mick Gold,
FisherPrice.
FisherPrice,
Celsius too.
Celsius,
Yeah.
A-Flux,
Fight Claw.
Fight Claw,
All right.
Equal Vision,
Equal Vision.
Over It music video,
Yeah.
Cam's
Uh,
guitars in the background.
Yeah, I just got a new one. I finally pulled the plug on the Gibson.
All right.
Shall I keep going? Armour for Sleep.
Armour for Sleep. Who else? We're missing something. Ale House,
Zinger Mountain Melt.
Cheesecake Factory,
Yeah.
Everyone we've spoken about.
Fender Guitars,
Yeah.
Fender Guitars. Now Gibson Guitars. But
Mhm.
no, to be serious for a second, we have a new song, Over It. It's out now, and it's on Spotify, Apple Music, the whole shebang. We do have an EP that came out almost 2 years ago, which is or like a year and a half ago. Some other songs, so there's that. There's going to be a new song too coming out soon, really soon,
You heard it
and
first.
it is the heaviest song on the record. So I'm excited to get that one out there and shut up all my FisherPrice haters. But yeah, so we have a new song coming out soon, and we'll be on tour with Armour for Sleep once this whole COVID stuff is gone and everyone can enjoy shows safely again. And we'll have a new record coming out next year as well. So
All right.
a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of good music. If you want to
For
cry, we got songs for that. If you want to get hyped up, we got songs for that. If you want to like do CrossFit, we got songs for that.
Sounds like a
Yes.
car commercial now.
Yeah, if you need
Zero
a song
finance.
car commercial, yeah, we got that too. If you want
Low
a beer
price.
chicken wings playlist song, we also have that. So like, if you want a song to play on your boat, or in this case, a yacht, we got that too.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's where we're gonna leave it.
Also, Mark McGrath is featured on the record too. So
He was.
he was. We had to take him off for legal issues because we didn't have consent.
Broken
Oh.
heart emoji.
Yeah.
Offensive.
He yelled at me. on the
We'll get to that
Instagram.
next
Yeah,
time.
next
Yeah,
time.
next
Yeah.
time.
Next time.
Oh,
Keep
wait!
the
Shout out to Sugar
viewers.
Ray, Mark McGrath,
Sugar Ray and
and
Mark McGrath.
Squire, Nick Wheeler, Mark Watchers for helping with the record, Rogue Planet mastering. Damn, I'm just going on and on.
Yeah.
Never
all
gets
right.
better.
That's on and on it goes, Cam.
That's where we're gonna end it. Thank you for sitting down with us, guys. This has been Never Loved and We're the Good Noise Podcast.